than 200 years ago, Americans fought a revolution against big government.
I can't believe they can tell you how to stop foreclosures on your house, how to get rid of debt without working 10 jobs in a 150-hour week. And they'll be coming up. And lastly, Patrick Henry comes back to give us his famous speech. With me now in the studio, please welcome Barbara. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what is your last name going to be at the end of the week?
It's going to be real at the end of the week, R-I-E-L. It's a divorce ending, but it's Garner right now, like James over in Santa Ynez.
Tell me what happened to you briefly. We only got a few minutes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was in a divorce settlement. Like most women, wanted to try to keep my house, couldn't qualify for my loan, was coerced into agreeing to sell the house, got a deal that looked shady to me, took it to an attorney who said, this purchase agreement is a mess. Took it to another guy who's been in real estate 45 years, said, no, it's a mess. So I refused to sign the purchase agreement. My ex-husband and his real estate guy took me to court in an ex parte hearing in front of Judge McLafferty to have that purchase agreement ordered by the court. McLafferty actually ordered not that particular purchase agreement, but the transfer of the grant deed, which was in my name, the court clerk to sign it off because I refused to sign. However, McLafferty did not ask me in court if I would sign that agreement, so he violated a term of law. He merely said, the court clerk, Mary, can sign this off today, and the realtor, who also happens to be an attorney, said, oh, she's not in. We'll have so-and-so do it. Okay, she'll sign it. So they went off and had my name taken off the deed.
They had your name taken off the deed.
Without my
without your
questioning
consent.
me, without asking me if I would do that, and they just, like I was retarded sitting in the room.
Did you get a jury? Did you have a trial?
No. Yeah, I appealed the case. I have not gotten an appeal date. Of course, courts are jammed.
In your appeal, did you mention Amendment 7 to the United States Constitution, which I'll read you real short, it's real brief. Amendment 7, trial by jury in suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20. The right of trial by jury shall be preserved, comma, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. Now, is your house worth more than $20?
20, 21, 22.
At least that. In Santa Barbara, I'd say probably 22 plus $1 million or so.
Exactly.
Even in the depressed prices. So, McLafferty denied your right to a trial by jury, even on the issue whether he could take your name off the deed.
Mm-hmm. And then the next time in the court, while he was still alive.
Is he a crook? Is McLafferty, I want to know, is McLafferty a crook?
Yeah, he's a thief and a colluder.
Did he give you a jury trial?
He didn't even listen to what I had to say without a jury there. No, did not
Then
give
I
me a
would
jury
conclude
trial.
he's a crook.
Well, he stole my house.
And
he stole my house.
Stole your house.
He stole
Okay.
my house. He didn't
Go ahead.
Say, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you.
Well, and that's what happened. So my name's off the deed. And this fella bought the house, so he thinks, the alleged guy bought the house from my ex-husband, and then he slaps a piece of paper on the door. I happen to be out of the country. My teenage daughter says, Mommy, we're kicked out of the house on December 3rd. I said, well, no, you're not. Yes, it's a eviction notice. I said, we're not renting from anybody. Well, the purchase agreement included a lease agreement for 2 months' time that my ex-husband signed and said, I will live in the house and I'm going to pay $2,000 a month to live there for 2 months. I didn't sign a lease agreement.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we're still in the house.
That's
squatting.
That smacks like dirty, underhanded
It's
courtroom.
so underhanded. It's so bad.
You know, 6 or 7 people have told me McLafferty needs to have a heart attack.
Well, I think he may have been ill. He did not do a lot of things. We have no orders. There are no orders filed. If you go and look at my file, my case number, which I gave to you, there's no court order. So now we have these people taking court action without an order in place upon which to base their action. So now that McLafferty's dead, I'm now in the Belface court the other day.
That's all fraud.
It's complete fraud.
It's fraud. Case number 1264827 in Santa Barbara, California.
Now you have to go to the
I'm going to
appellate
go
court
look.
to
I'm
see
going to go
that.
look that case up.
It's now in the appellate court.
You know what? I'm. You know, Barbara. This so offends me that these judges get away with it. I'm going to put a media request to put a camera on in your court. You're coming
I have a
up
trial
what?
February 5th.
February 5th. I'll put a media request. We'll take my big camera and we'll go down there and we'll see if DeBellevue ignores your plea. I think I'm not a lawyer. I went to law school for 3 years, but I'm not a lawyer. But I think you need to put a motion in for claiming fraud. Fraud usually sets everything back to square one.
Well, that's a lawsuit. I'm talking about that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what you need, in my opinion. But I'm not a lawyer, and I can't do that paperwork for you.
Well,
So-
we're in the middle of that.
We got about 3 minutes left here. What else can you tell us about this criminal behavior of Judge McLafferty?
Well, the big thing is that I'm in a situation in my life with my kids now grown that I can fight now and spend hours, literally hours, as you do, on the internet reading case files of corruption and people not knowing what their rights are and what they can do. And that's why when you said, come on and talk about this, I said, we got to get this out. Because I tried to get the media to cover this right before the election because
really?
my realtor was running for election,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your realtor,
Yeah.
the corrupt guy that,
running for city council.
what was his name?
John Tyne,
John Tyner. Did he win?
no, way down on the list.
Way down on the list. Well,
Spent a
maybe-
lot of money, and I think some of it was in my escrow account, which I still don't know exists. He tells me it does, but I have no proof. There's so much. It's so deep. I'm giving you just,
Didn't you hear about the storm off the coast of California here? The lawyers were on a pleasure cruise. There was like 200 of them. The ship sank, and all the lawyers were at the bottom of the ocean. You know what I call that? A good start. I'm smiling. I'm smiling, Mr. Prosecutor.
yeah. So I'm hoping DeBellevue will
You
help
know
me.
what I-
She
you
at
know
least
what I
granted
call-
me a trial, but we're trying, now we're filed a writ and an injunction simultaneously because there's an appealing case to see who owns the house if this guy owns it. How can you kick somebody out of a house if you
Yeah.
don't even know if you own it?
To me, you've got to write into the statute of frauds into your motion. I'm not a lawyer, and I can't do the paperwork for you, but it strikes me as this is class in your face fraud. Fraud by the judge, fraud by Tyner, fraud by the guy that showed you the agreement you didn't sign,
Nope,
fraud
never
by
signed anything.
your soon-to-be ex-husband who apparently doesn't love you as much as he used to. How long were you guys married?
13 years.
13 years. Do you have any children with him?
It's 12 years and 11 months. Too long.
Oh. I didn't hear that.
Anyway, so off we go, and we're in the battle, and hopefully...
You're hoping Denise DeBellevue, that judge who illegally, wrongfully signed the oath of office for her husband, Judge Herman, which is, to me, a criminal act. And it appeared to me when we demanded his, they didn't have it. It appeared to me
that she covered for him.
that she covered for him and backdated the oath of office. Because when the law says they're supposed to have that oath of office immediate. You walk in, demand it, the clerk's got to give it to you. Boom, right there. Here's his oath of office. Now, I went to 3 other counties and demanded oaths of office of other judges in 3 other counties, and they were back like within 2 minutes. Here's his oath of office.
You couldn't do it for her husband,
Here,
Herman.
it took over a day. And when they did, I said, wait a minute. How come it's signed here in this office, but you had to go get it from Santa Barbara? You ought to check into the oath of office, because I think Denise DeBellevue should be removed from office. Judge Herman should be removed from office. That whole thing violates what the goody two-shoe lawyers like to call canon of judicial ethics.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to appear to do anything wrong. You're supposed to avoid even the appearance of wrongdoing.
Whoa, that doesn't happen in the courtroom. I would love to have a video going full time.
Well, I'm going to put in my request, and we'll know if Judge DeBellevue is crooked if she denies the media request. Because if she is straight on the up and up, she'll have no
She'll
problem.
have nothing to hide.
She'll
right.
sign it, say, sure, bring your camera in. Everything in my courtroom's on the up and up.
Well, I'm
If she
banking
says,
on
no,
her a little.
denied because I didn't like what you said about me on television, then we know she's a crook.
No, I'm banking on her because she gave me a trial. She could have made a decision the other day.
She cut you a break. Is the trial February 5th?
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
That's not very much time to prepare for a trial, especially if you got alleged fraud, you got to prove the fraud.
Well, I don't know if we could do that because it's a unlawful detainer trial.
Oh, it's an unlawful detainer trial. Oh, well, then she's jumped over that and said, forget about that. We're moving
Right.
ahead.
There's not even any proof these people have ownership, but she
Well,
didn't really seem to look at that.
Barbara, we'll have you
Paperwork.
back another day.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the 5th. I hope we can get in there
Thank
with
you
the
for
camera.
coming in here in Santa Maria, in downtown wonderful Santa Maria.